Everybody is running. Let's take a look at the lineup. Tolsma and Steele will start on row number 1. Kenny Irwin Jr. and Tony Stewart will be in row number 2. The third row, Jim Keeker and Jimmy Sills. Row number 4, Jackie Burke and Davey Hamilton. Fifth row, Jack Hewitt and Ryan Newman. Row 6, Pat Abold and Mike Bliss. The 7th row, Bentley Warren and Dave Darlin. 8th row, Frankie Kerr and Johnny Heidenreich. The 9th row, Tice Carlson and Brian Tyler. Row 10, Chuck Gurney and Kevin Doty. The 11th row, Kenny Irwin and Paul Durant. The 12th row, Wally Pankratz and Chip Thomas. Row 13, Robbie Flock and Bruce Field. The 14th row, Rusty McClure and Bill Bowie, and Chet Phillip and Jimmy McCune are in the last row. Now, Bruce Field in car number 7 is substituting for Johnny Parsons, who was injured in a midget crash. Flag off of corner number 4, and the green flag is out, and the pole sitter Randy Tolsma gets a terrible start. Kenny Irwin Jr. passes him on the inside, but it's the outside row that has the best jump, and David Steele is up front.
David Steele followed by Tony Stewart. That's George Snyder's car. George Snyder is not going to run the pavement anymore, so he's put Tony Stewart and Davey Hamilton in his car, and Stewart right now has jumped out into second place very quickly.
Irwin is third, followed by Tolsma, and then Jimmy Sills, your top 5 at the end of lap number 1.
That's the in-car camera, that black car back there you see with Bentley Warren. As we can see, David Steele has pulled out into a few car lengths lead.
That's Johnny Heidenreich up ahead in car number 80 of Bentley Warren. He has our onboard camera as he comes off of corner number 4 onto the main straightaway. We're seeing a lot of cars bottoming out.
Well, that's because of all the fuel.
Right.
There's 500 pounds of fuel behind the driver. They set the race cars up so they'll handle late in the race. Ooh, he got up and just barely tapped the wall coming off of 2. That's a very tight part of the course. And he did just barely touch the fence, I think, right there.
Yeah, I think he did, too. That was right at the area where the big midget crash occurred, but he is okay. Tice Carlson's car is sparking badly as it goes around the course, and so is Bentley Warren's.
Well, again, I think that's because of all the fuel, and they've just, Jimmy Keeker's pulled down to the inside.
He says it's a spark plug wire. We're listening to his radio. That's Jim Keeker coming in. He led a...
Hail, Tony Irwin.
You can see them in there. They're all checking the spark plug wires. They told them that was the problem. They all went around there. Doesn't seem to be anything that they found. They looked, but didn't really find much, I don't think.
We're looking at second, third, and fourth here as David Steele has a very comfortable lead. That is Tony Stewart, followed by Kenny Irwin and the 6th car of Randy Tolsma. Second, third, and fourth. 6 laps out of 134 completed now. Now Irwin took a look to the inside of Stewart in corner number 1.
Yes, he's trying very hard to get around Tony Stewart. The thing is, you don't want to heat your tires up. We've talked before. Oh, he went way down inside of him right there. He moved over Tony Stewart. Stewart, I think, just turned right a little bit to get out of the way. Too early to crash or get in a confrontation like that.
And Mike Bliss is moving up through the field. He's alongside Dave Darlin in car number 56 and the 39 car of Ryan Newman there.
Yeah, he's moving up pretty well. This guy is so smooth. He's a very patient driver also. He's not going to do anything really silly as we got a car slowed way down over there.
That's Tolsma. It appears Randy Tolsma slowing on the backstretch. The guy that chased Jack Hewitt to the checkered flag last year and the fastest qualifier, in fact, setting a new track record here tonight.
Motor quit. Yeah, that'll go hard.
Heard him say the motor quit. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So Tolsma comes into the pit area, and the caution is on the speed. No, I'm sorry. He's taken the lead, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He's got around. During that break, Kenny Irwin took the lead and is now in the lead. David Steele, he got him in the traffic. David Steele falling back just a little bit now, but Irwin really working the traffic.
And also, while we were away, Davey Hamilton pulled in. He was in 7th position when the car just slowed dramatically, and Davey brought it into the pits. The engine was sounding very, very rough when he pulled in.
And look at this.
Yeah.
Jimmy Sills now moved into second and is challenging Kenny Irwin for the lead. That's Kenny Irwin. Jimmy Sills in the white 75 car, now running in second place. He's gotten around David Steele. David Steele's fallen back to third. He's the 4th, 5th car in the line there, but man,
down to Dave Despain.
Davey Hamilton had run as high as fourth. What happened?
Well, the car was great. I'll tell you what, that's the best Silver Crown car I've ever had. But we had some fuel problems. I think it felt like some nozzles plugged out. But the whole race, the motor was missing and finally just shut off. But for a stick motor, the car was really handling good.
Any idea whether Tony's okay? Can he still win this thing?
I just wanted to say, I don't really know what Tony's doing out there right now. Hopefully he can. We thank AJ. Hope you're watching.
Hamilton has just climbed out, hasn't had a chance to talk to the crew. They're down to Stewart, and that's it for the Snyder team.
Jimmy Sills is in the lead. He took the lead from Kenny Irwin while Dave was doing that interview, and now Jimmy goes to the front and becomes the third leader of the afternoon and evening.
That is a Mopar-powered car, the first one we've seen in the Silver Crown division for years and years. And obviously, Gary Stanton has that thing running pretty doggone good, as he did take the lead. And we saw Sills and also Kenny Irwin had a lot of trouble getting around Jackie Burke, as they both got down in the flat trying to get around him.
Jimmy Sills was the 1990 and 1994 USAC Silver Crown champion, and he was the Rookie of the Year in this division in 1989. He's from Placerville, California, and among other things, he runs a driving school.
Yes, and he's very happy. It's gone very, very well for him at that driving school. And right now, he's giving these guys a little lesson on how to run this racetrack, I'll tell you.
Sure is. He's coming up on Frankie Kerr in car number 67 to put a lap on him, and that's Dave Darlin in car number 56 that he is about to lap. So that would leave us with what?
Only if he gets around Darlin, there will only be 5 cars on the lead lap. 3 of them very close to each other right there. As you can see, oh, he gets off sideways right there, trying to get under Dave Darlin and Frankie Kerr. Those two guys are battling for 5th and 6th back there, 6th and 7th, I should say. And meanwhile, they're trying to get lapped, or at least Sills is trying to get around them.
We are experiencing power hits here at the Speedway. Now, I don't know whether it's affecting your picture at home, but it is here at the Speedway. We lose picture every now and then, and we have to kind of fly by the seat of our pants. But it is going well for Jimmy Sills here as he leads, now coming up on the 67 car of Frankie Kerr.
As Frankie Kerr, oh, he gets real sideways, smokes that right rear. He doesn't want to do that. We're only 64 laps into the race. He doesn't want to do that very often, as now he gets around Kerr, and he leaves Kenny Irwin hung out to dry, trying to get around him, going down the back straightaway.
So Kenny Irwin is hung up behind Frankie Kerr at the moment.
He had good strategy. He waited 2 or 3 laps, though, and now he's lost all that time.
Bentley Warren comes back out as the green flag waves, and the racing resumes here at Richmond. And we're watching Tony Stewart. Now, he has a lot better shot of getting back on the lead lap now than he ever has.
He certainly does. And if he can take advantage of it right now, we're going to find out very quickly whether he can get around these guys and then hope for a yellow flag. Right now, it looks like they're just pulling away from him a few car lengths, though.
Sure does. Tony Stewart is not on the lead lap. He is running in 5th position, but is a lap down, and he is trying to get back on the lead lap, but it looks like his efforts at the moment are futile.
Man, oh man, that yellow car, that 80 car back there, Johnny Heidenreich, was real sideways. Almost got into that turn 2 fence coming on.
So Sills maintains the advantage over Kenny Irwin. There is Heidenreich right there in the number 80 car as he had problems. And right in front of him now is Jack Hewitt, who is in 4th place.
Got Jack Hewitt. He got a big advantage there. When David Steele went into the pit, he had to pull back in line where he pulled in, which lost him a lot of ground on the racetrack. That was a very, very costly mistake for David Steele. If he was going to pit, he should have done it earlier. When he didn't, he had to pull back in. He lost 10 or 12 track position cars out there, which is very costly in this kind of a race.
So Hewitt now is in 3rd spot and looking toward the front of the field. And he doesn't have all that far to go before he catches Sills and Irwin. Here is Jack Hewitt once again sliding off corner number 4 just like he did last year.
Hey, last year he ran that baby sideways and smoked that right rear tire all night long. We kept saying there is no way that thing's going to last, and he just kept going to the front, staying there, and getting faster all night long.
Do not count Jack Hewitt out of this race by any means. It gets a little high just behind the 2 that we were watching. He got a little bit high there in corner number 4 and lost a little bit of momentum. So his charge to the front for at least the moment is stalled somewhat.
35 laps to go, I think. As we see right now, Kenny Irwin is just hanging on, right? I believe he's running that thing as hard as it'll go, though, because he's up, down the racetrack. I mean, he's doing everything to catch up with Jimmy Sills, and Sills just seems to have that thing on a string.
There is Stewart, however, passing the second-place car of Irwin, and now let's see if he can pass Jimmy Sills and get back on the lead lap. It looked like for a while he might be able to, as Sills comes up on some slower traffic in the form of Chet Phillips.
The lap traffic caused him to back out of the throttle. He could see what was going to happen if he barreled on in there, and he was going to get caught by that lap traffic, so he just stayed out of it. Now he's down on the inside of Jimmy Sills. If he can pull this off and a yellow flag comes out, look out, baby, this is going to be a new race.
You bet it is. He still has not made the pass yet, and now he does. Look at him fight that wheel off the third and fourth corners, and by golly, Tony Stewart has done it. He is back on the lead lap in 5th position.
He's on the lead lap in 5th position. Look at Pat Abel, though. Remember, he dropped in the back of the field with that brand new right rear tire. He's already up with your leaders, and he's going to be past them here pretty quick as he went around him very fast.
Wow. That was an impressive move by Pat Abel. He also is about to get his lap back.
Again. Now, if he gets around Sills and a yellow comes out, boy, these guys are in a world of hurt because that fresh tire is really fast.
That is for sure. The thing that Jimmy Sills does not want above all other things between now and the end of the race is a caution flag, because if he has a caution, all these cars that just got their laps back are going to be able to encircle the entire racetrack.
Fast with 8 cylinders.
That's right. 5 more laps to go for Jimmy Sills. That completes lap number 129.
You can see all these cars are getting a little bit loose. All those tires are getting worn. All these race cars are running a little slower, and the back end's hanging out there. You can see Jimmy Sills really working that steering wheel, trying to keep that thing straight. Unfortunately for Kenny Irwin back there in second, he's got exactly the same problem.
It's been a wild night here at Richmond. We had an incredible crash during the midget race in which about 6 cars or more than that were involved in an accident over in turn number 2 on the lead of the backstretch, and it involved a huge inferno. Fortunately, no drivers were seriously injured. Now we hear the possibility of Sills running low on fuel.
Terry Stanton is the car owner. I went over to congratulate him. He said, not yet. We may run out of fuel. We don't feel confident that the car will make it all the way. Now it's just a waiting game to see if the thing will make it.
Wow. So don't tune away yet, folks. We are only a couple of laps away from the finish of this race, but it could be a fuel situation for Sills. There's the completion of lap number 132. Less than 2 laps to go for Jimmy, but is he going to make it?
Well, I tell you what, if he runs out of fuel, he's probably going to be pretty upset. They have run a lot of green flag laps, though, and he's run the heck out of that race car. He's been on the throttle a lot of the time, and it could mean that he's going to be low on fuel. We'll just have to wait and see. We got one car slowing down. It looks like the 94 car, Robbie Block. It might be a fuel problem. Who knows?
So we've got less than 3/4 of a mile to go for Jimmy Sills. He looks okay coming out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. He heads into turn number 3. Is Sills going to be able to make it? I believe he will. Here he comes off of corner number 4. And Jimmy Sills wins the Silver Crown race here at Richmond. Second position goes to Kenny Irwin. And we're watching Jack Hewitt finish in 3rd and Abel in 4th.
Abel almost made up a complete lap and got about Jack Hewitt. He was the fastest car on the racetrack for the last 35 laps.
So Jimmy Sills, a 43-year-old driver from Placerville, California, wins his 7th career Silver Crown race here at Richmond tonight. I remember last year his car ended up against the wall over in turn number 3, but not tonight. He's the winner. Dave?
Gary Stanton, took you a while to break into a smile. That was pretty nerve-wracking, wasn't it?
Well, we could hear it kind of running out of gas. I didn't know if he was going to make it or not.
Was he talking to you on the radio?
I don't have any radios. I don't have anything to say to that guy when he's out on the racetrack.
Well, all you got to say to him tonight is congratulations. Great job.
He did a great job. I'd like to thank Mopar for helping us out. They gave us some great parts. We got all the power in the world.
All right, there is the winning car owner. We'll take a break and come back with a winning driver. Jimmy Sills has won it with about yay much fuel left in the tank. We'll be right back to wrap it up from Richmond.